This morning we're going to make a 5-layer Fiesta breakfast, which is going to be so delicious. I took this recipe for this as an inspiration from the Taste of Cowboy cookbook, written by Kent Rollins and his wife Shannon. I didn't follow it to the letter, but I did follow it enough to get a delicious breakfast similar to the one that they eat in their home. Let me show you. It's a 2-part recipe. I'm going to get the sauce started first. This is a green sauce. I'm making it with some cornstarch, some green chili peppers, a little olive oil, a small onion, and some vegetable stock. If you don't have those ingredients in your house, you can substitute flour for the cornstarch. You can substitute chicken stock for the vegetable stock. That's the first part. The second part makes a 5-layer recipe. It's going to start with hash browns on the bottom. We're using hash brown patties to give us a little bit of a head start here since there's so many ingredients. So we're going to use hash browns, some eggs, some pinto beans, some mozzarella cheese. Those are the 4 ingredients, and the 5th one is the green sauce, which goes on top. So I'm going to start the green sauce now. I'm going to mix this in a bowl and beat it with a mixer. Now sometimes chili peppers, green diced chili peppers, come in small cans. We needed 2 cans for this recipe, but I see Wegmans is now making 2-can size in one larger can. So this is 3.9 ounces. I'm just going to open that up and put it in the bowl. These are diced and finely chopped. I'm going to drain a little bit of the liquid off of these diced peppers before I pour it in the bowl. Alright, we don't have too much liquid or we'll have to thicken it up, so we're going to use a little bit of vegetable stock, and this is going to have liquid in it also. Alright, wow, do they smell good. That'll open your eyes up in the morning. Alright, I'm going to use about 6 tablespoons of cornstarch, and I'm just estimating here. We just want to make sure it's enough cornstarch to make the sauce nice and thick. About 6 tablespoons. This is an item that can be adjusted if we need to thicken the sauce. I'm going to use some vegetable culinary stock, also about the same amount. Again, this item can be adjusted to make the sauce just as thick as you want it to be. We're going to give it a shot of olive oil. Just a little bit. About a tablespoon. I'm going to chop up this onion real fine. I'll be right back. Alright, I chopped up the onion real fine. We're going to add this to the bowl. I'm going to take my little KitchenAid mixer, and I'm going to mix this up real fast. We have it blended up pretty good. If you would rather use a food processor to make it a thinner sauce, you can. We want to have a rather chunky sauce here, so we're going to pour this into a pan. I'm going to start heating this up while we make the rest of the layers for this recipe. Alright, you can see what it looks like here. As it starts to cook, it's going to thin out a little bit as far as chunks, but it's going to get thick because of the cornstarch. And that's what we want, a nice thick creamy sauce with chunky chilies in there and onions. Alright, let's put that on the back burner, so to speak. And we'll start making the rest of the recipe in your cast iron pan. Alright, next we're going to go with some hash browns. You can use regular hash browns or cut up your own potato. That's a-okay. But let's get this burner on here. And we're going to heat up the cast iron pan. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to this pan. My old friend, to get these patties a sizzling. Again, you can go from scratch to make your refried beans. Here's a convenience that I picked up from Wegmans. It's vegetarian refried pinto beans. going to make 4 of these today. You could stretch this recipe out to make 6, I believe. Let's get them started to heat up and get brown. Alright, when you get these hash browns nice and brown, we're going to put them on a piece of parchment paper on the pan for the toaster oven. So let's get that moving. This is where we're going to set them up. Little 5-layer breakfast treats. Okay, while the pan's hot, we're going to add the refried beans. I'm going to turn down the heat and just let the heat of the pan warm up these beans and get them ready for their part in this layering. While the refried beans are warming up, I'm going to take the hash browns and put them in the warm toaster oven. See how nice and creamy they get after they're warmed up? Alright, since we're not using that burner, I can move that to the side. We're using the heat of the pan to keep that warm. In the meantime, we're going to make these eggs. Alright, let's crack the eggs here. We want 4 eggs to fit on the 4 patties of hash browns. So I'm trying to keep them a little bit separated in the pan. We don't want to overcook these because they're going to sit in the toaster oven for a few minutes too. So let's just get them where they're medium dippy. Now the chili sauce is a little thick. I'm going to add a little bit more broth until we get the right consistency. In the meantime, the eggs are done. The refried beans are done. We're going to assemble the layers onto the hash browns. Alright, this is what we would like to have. Consistency like this. Everything's nice and hot. Let's move quickly. Each hash brown gets some refried beans. And there's enough to cover that hash brown with refried beans. Alright, each patty with refried beans gets some mozzarella cheese. Alright, each hash brown that has mozzarella cheese gets an egg. Alright, and we're going to add a sprinkle of cheese on top of each egg. And then the fun part comes when we add the green chili sauce to wake everybody up when they get this breakfast. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright, I'm just going to put this in the toaster oven just long enough to melt the mozzarella cheese. It won't take long because everything's hot. Here it is, right out of the oven, nice and hot and steamy. Let's pick one of these servings up and put it on a plate. There's one serving. There's a real eye-opener breakfast. The 5-layer Fiesta with green chili sauce. If you like this recipe, give it a try. Thanks for watching my videos.